What we gonna do right now is go back, way back.
Give me your friend. Hey, hey, more. Come on, shake, come on. Give me your friend. Hey, because they do the round. Fat girls like do the round. Fat girls, let me see you grind. Fat girls just doing their own thing right there with the fat thing. Fat girls just shaking them thighs. Fat girls don't make count rock.
Excuse me.
Baby.
What's up? I thought you was gonna start hanging out with the big girls again. What is all this trash?
But like that girl, hit the ground, hit it up, and hit us up, sound. Fat girl just looking so sweet. Fat girl don't make it easy. Fat girl just shake it, don't break. Big girl, let me see you do a thing. Let go, let me see you touch the ground. Shake it out, just shop, back down. Top beers in the house, burn it all back. Work it, work it, work it, work it, big girl, 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 like you around. Fat girl keep going, don't quit. Fat girl just move the damn hip. Fat girl get down, don't stop. Fat girl wanna see the pop. Shake it, stop, fat girl, take it fast. Fat girl nigga wanna see that. Fat girl bounce like a pro. Fat girl go what you know. Fat girl shake till you rip through what? Underwear cuts, hard part two. Looks in the house, y'all know the game. Fat girl don't have no shame. Shake that ass, bounce to the beat. Fat girl shake it, jiggle like me. St. Louis, back to the top. Like I like to do the rap. Work it, work it, work it, big girl, 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 like do the rap. Hey, hey, more hey. Let me hear you say, hey, hey, more hey. Big girls like do the rap. Shake, work, shake, work, shake, work, shake, work, shake, shake, work, shake, shake, work, shake, work, shake, work, shake, to the ground, to the ground, to the ground, to the ground.
Now sick of this. Now I want to show y'all a real show with the big girls.
Oh, fat girl, brought three. Can't hang with 100% beat. Fat girl know that happen. Don't quit. Fat girl run like you own it. Put your hands on your hips and grip it. Nothing new, I'm loose like it off the that. Fat girl bring through the top of the climb. If not, I'ma pull the panties down. Fat girl bounce hot and stop tripping. If you do, get chicken and hot bitch. With a lot of rock, couple nights, please. I really shit get the day in the world, G. But fat girl show the boys a shot. Let me see if the fat or not. Don't put fat girl, y'all like the down. Let you out, let me see y'all do the rap.
I'm serious. Where you are? Not ever. Oh, not the Britney Spears. Hey, how you doing?
Big girl, 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 big girl.
Oh, but ain't the little leprechaun. Girl, your wings are so up. You look a mess. All about the big girls. What about the big girls?
Big girl, work it, work it, work. Big girl, work it, work it, work. Big girl, you done suck all the fat off your ass. Go big girl, go big girl, go. 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 Go big girl. Go big girl. Gotta say I love it. One time for all the big girls, all the oversized, voluptuous, beautiful women. You know, y'all don't get enough love. So Uncle Luke have to give you the love that you rightfully so deserve. See, everybody loves them old little skinny bitches. Look, this year is the big girls. This year is all about the big girls. It's not about these little skinny bitches, because these little skinny bitches, they don't eat. And when they don't eat, they don't cook. They don't know how to clean. They don't know how to fucking suck dick. They just want to exercise.
get your body right and get your muscle tight and drop your ass all night. That's all the skinny girls want to do. They don't want to eat. You go take them to dinner, they're eating shrimps and cauliflower and bird food and stuff like that. Not to say that stuff is not good, but when it's time to go home, what you think they're finna cook you? You think they getting ready to cook you some big ass meal, some yams, some black eyed peas, some rice, some baked chicken, some cabbage, some crack punk, some pigeon peas and rice? Do you think they get ready to cook you that? Little skinny bitch gonna cook you that? No, you're not getting that out of the little skinny bitch. You're gonna get some goose. Goose. You're not getting nothing to eat. So show love to the big girls, especially this time of year when it's cold outside. Who are you holding? You get up in the bed, little skinny bitch. You be like, huh? Where's the heat? She all up under you and shit. No, bitch, you supposed to be warming me up. What are we doing? What are we doing? What are you, a bat? What are you on that baddie show where I make all the money, I don't heat you up, bitch. I'm the one who bring all the money in. You need to be heating me up. What? That's a whole nother thing. But ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another edition of the Uncle Luke Show. This is a brand new year, 2026. And I know y'all got your mind on the things that y'all need to be getting done, because I damn sure got my mind on the things I need to be getting done, like making this podcast the biggest podcast in the entire world. Only with your help. Only with your help. Your help, we will make that shit happen. We will become the biggest podcast in the world. And when they have podcast awards, we'll be on the podcast awards. We'll be all over the place and we'll be doing what we need to do, but only with you. So, again, I'd like to thank all the good people who are on my X, Uncle Luke Real One on X. I like to thank the good people who are on my Instagram, Uncle Luke Real One. You know, I know we figured out how to integrate Instagram into the situation so that they could get the live goods like everybody else getting the live goods. And my two favorite places where all the old bitches at on fucking Facebook. Shout out to all the old hoes on Facebook. I love y'all. Listen, man. Facebook, you never listen. When you go to Facebook and you go on your DM in Facebook, it ain't nothing but a bunch of old bitches with bad bullet wounds who used to be strippers. Y'all give a round of applause for the girls on Facebook. All the old bitches. Yes, we gotta get the old bitches. And then YouTube, all the stuff that I'm saying right now, YouTube is gonna not they're gonna cancel the whole show. Based on everything I just said right there, the whole show will be canceled. It'll be canceled. But no, all my good friends on YouTube, the numbers on YouTube are getting bigger and bigger every day. I love it. That's the actual home base of the Uncle Luke Show is YouTube. I know y'all see me on X. I know y'all see the show on X. You see it on Instagram. You see it on Facebook. But we are based out of YouTube. And then we'll be migrating over on Podbean into all different other platforms that have this show everywhere that you may want to imagine it. But let's get right into it. Let's get right into it. Boy, this Black Monday. Black fucking Monday. Black Monday. Black Monday. You know when they, in the NFL, I know y'all probably think I'm talking about Black Monday, the movie, but no, I'm not talking about Black Monday, the movie. I'm talking about Black Monday in the NFL. It has been quite a few coaches that has been fired. Starting off with the Arizona Cardinals. And these guys have been getting fired in 2 years. Now, I thought it was a black thing. I'm always thinking it's a black thing, and y'all always jumping on me and remind me, look, everything ain't about race. Everything ain't about race. In this case, y'all right. I stand to be corrected. Everything in this situation is not about race. Because even though Raheem Morris had 2 years over at the Atlanta Falcons, everybody else, shit. Pete Carroll got axed after 1 year. Pete Carroll got butchered after 1 year. And Gannon in Arizona got butchered after 2 years. I mean, Stefanski is the only one that was there for like 6 years, and we know what the fuck was going on there. So Stefanski was supposed to be fired a long time ago. You know, I'm not one to advocate for people being fired because, again, when you get fired, that's not a good thing for you and your family. You got to endure that. But unfortunately, this the nature of this business. It's a contact sport. Either you're going to win games or you're not. And if you don't win games, you get your ass fired. It's just that simple. If you pick the wrong personnel, you get fired as a GM. If you pick the right personnel and you show improvement, you're supposed to keep your job, like Andrew Berry at Cleveland when Stefanski got fired. Everybody thought Berry was going to get fired too. Unlike the Miami Dolphins, who fired their GM in the middle of the year. I'm like, who fires the fucking GM to light a fuse up the ass of the players? Who does that? No, the coach get fired and you go a different direction as far as the team, and the team then be like, okay, we're going to rally around the interim coach and we're going to win it for the interim coach. You never saw nobody winning for the fucking GM. The GM is the one who brought people in. And so I commend the Cleveland Browns owner for keeping Andrew Berry because, unfortunately, because of Shedeur Sanders, I sat there and watched every fucking game. I watched, even when my beloved Cowboys was on, I did not look at the Cowboys. I looked at Cleveland. Even when I needed to be looking at the Miami Dolphins because I do a radio show with the Angie Slater Sports Radio Show every Tuesday, and I need to do commentary on the Dolphins, I had to look at the Dolphins rerun to keep myself up on them because I was so focused on Cleveland. And when I tell you that was a hot mess, it was a hot mess from the word go. Jesus Christ, I'm probably a Cleveland Brown expert on how that was fucked up. It was clear that the head coach Stefanski did not like Shedeur Sanders, did not want to draft him, threw the team up under the bus by starting Dillon Gabriel because he drafted Dillon Gabriel. Him and Dillon Gabriel has the same agent. He got Dillon Gabriel paid, and he was not trying to have no fucking Shedeur go in the game. And unfortunately, Dillon Gabriel, you know, hopefully he does good. I don't want to see him do bad because it's not his fault. It just he wasn't ready for the moment. And hopefully he prevailed. You know, these young quarterbacks, man, it's like, you know, when they're young like that, they struggle in the first 2 years, and then they get their feet up on them. No different than the quarterback over there at New England. Everybody thought he was ass, and look at them right now. He got his team in the playoff, only lost 3 games. Look at quarterback Bryce Young over there in Carolina, just won the division. People thought Bryce Young was ass, but at the same time, look what Bryce Young did. He was, you know, yeah, he went through 4 fucking coaches, but you got to give quarterbacks time in this league here. So when people go to criticize him, whether it's Dillon Gabriel or Shedeur Sanders or any young quarterback, I mean, they're just stupid. You don't know football. It ain't too many young quarterbacks that came in this league and just became world beaters from the word go. I mean, shit. You name it. I could name 1,000. I could name 1,000 quarterbacks that struggled in the beginning when they got into the league, but once they got their feet up under them, and once they look at the guy in Cleveland, and not Cleveland, but Chicago. He came in first pick in the draft. First, no different than Bryce Young. First pick in the draft, struggled because the speed of the game is so much more faster than it is in college. It is light years faster. You got to get the ball out real quick. You got to know when you're going there real quick. You got to process real quick. You just don't go in there. Look at Aaron McNair. Aaron McNair probably arguably one of the best quarterbacks to ever play the game. Aaron McNair actually sat down at Houston for a whole year. Then got out there. Then had his bumps and bruises. I mean, shit. Warren Moon had to go to fucking Canada to come back to be a great quarterback in this league. So, you know, people want to criticize these quarterbacks so fast. You know, when I look at Shedeur Sanders, and I, you know, old as I am, thank God I made 65. I made 65. You see this motherfucker right here? I made 65. My birthday is 65. Look at this old motherfucker here. You wish you looked this good when you're 65? That Florida boy shit. That's that Florida boy shit. See, I don't have to put these motherfucking glasses on. That's that Florida boy shit, boy. It's in the water, baby. Act prime. It's in the water, baby. Hey, when you got that Florida boy shit in there, black don't crack. So I had a birthday in December. Capricorn, shouts out to all the Capricorns. I'm sorry. Look, I'm frauded. I mean, shit. Go out there, run 3 miles, walk another 2, get back. Let me just get off that. But you got to take care of yourself. You can't put all kind of chemicals in your body. Unfortunately, when I was young, I did not do that. When all my friends was over there putting powder up there, whatever, you know what I'm saying, baking soda, and mannitol. No. So I tell all the kids, be men about it, and women, don't succumb to peer pressure. You understand that? But that's a whole nother thing. But going back there, I get distracted and start talking about other stuff because I love educating people on certain things to do and not to do. But going back to this whole situation, I mean, it's not a race thing. It's just a bad thing for the NFL. It's bad that you got to hire a guy and fire him in 2 years. It's a bad thing that you got to then push people off the boat. Like the Miami Dolphins, take a guy, Chris Greer, who fielded a great team. That was a hell of a team. That wasn't his call, no fucking tour. Let's keep that a buck. That was the fans of the Miami Dolphins and the media, the Omar Kellys and all the rest of them, and the Chris Perkins and all them people of the world talking about draft tour, knowing that the guy had a bad hip, and Brian Flores telling y'all, no, I don't want this guy because this guy is soft as fuck. That was Brian Flores' opinion. He wanted Justin Herbert. Brian Flores is still winning and still is still arguably the best defensive coordinator in the NFL. So the Miami Dolphins fucked that up. They had the coach there. This coach got the pulse of the team because when you're a young coach and you go through a rocky run and at the beginning because you're cutting motherfuckers because they ain't buying into what you're talking about and you're getting rid of guys because they're not buying into the program. And once they realize that you are the coach and you have control of the locker room, you win. So that's why Brian Flores was able to go and run off like 7 straight wins, get the team into the playoffs. That's the mark of a good coach. And when you hear the Cleveland Browns owner talk about their GM and why he kept the GM because the media was acting for the GM head, and it's only the media that talks because the media don't even talk to the people. If the media talk to the people, then everything I talk about, Omar Kelly, Chris Perkins, David, and you name it, Dan Lebatard, all them, me, a member of the community, they would be saying, well, the member of the community was saying this here. They don't listen to what the fucking community says. They don't listen to what the fans say. You think Mary Kay really listened to what the fans say? That's Mary Kay's opinion. And half of these pundits that you see on TV right now, they're represented by the big agency called CAA. CAA represents all the coaches in the NFL and the NCAA, majority of them. So who the fuck you think they're gonna talk good about? People who are represented by the same agency that they're represented by. Hello? That's the part you guys will not get on ESPN, the Worldwide Sports Network. You're not gonna get that on CNN because the big monster, the big boogeyman, represents all of them, and you'll know when there's a coach that they don't represent. You'll know when there's a player like LeBron James that they don't represent. You'll know they don't represent Mario Cristobal. That's why they wanted him out of the playoffs. You see what I'm saying? Follow the money. They always told you, follow the money. The conglomerate runs the yard. From the media, from all standpoints, all aspects of this game right here. So it wasn't a surprise when Dylan Gabriel was starting. Because Dylan Gabriel and Savansky is represented by the same agent. Hello? He had to crash and burn the fucking plane. Who is Shador represented by? Daddy. Most of the agents represent the general manager. They represent the head coach. They represent the players. And they represent the president of these teams. So that's how they continuously get recycled. That's how Penn State got caught up in the bullshit when they fired. When you fire the big boogeymans. Now, mind you, I had a problem with them firing my good friend Franklin. But when you fire Franklin over there at Penn State, unjustifiable fire, you see how long it took for them to get a coach. It was like, oh, bitch, you out of control. Oh, okay. Is that what that's what we doing? We'll show you better than we can tell you. We ain't going to give you no real coach until we want to give you a coach. Because you just fucked up. Speaking of fucking up, people. So let's go. Speaking of fucking up, I love the Miami Dolphins. I love Ross. I love Tom Garfinkel. Those are my friends. It's because I'm so outspoken for the community, for the people. I haven't even asked to go. Normally I sit in the big suite every year, but I haven't asked it. I didn't want to put them in a predicament of saying, hey, look, hey, I want to come to the game. You know, they normally have it in a big suite. So I've actually been, in my opinion, kicked out of the big suite because I'm so vocal about the direction of the Miami Dolphins. So let me just say this. I put on Twitter, hey, look, they need to hire me as a fucking consultant. So people thought I was joking, but I really wasn't joking. I really wasn't joking. When you have an organization that has not won a playoff game in over 25 years, you got to do something different. You can't do the norm. So what they did was borderline crazy, similar to what the Indianapolis coach did when they hired the fucking guy, Jeff Saturday, off TV and made him the head coach. So now the Miami Dolphins is repeating the same thing. Since Troy Aikman gets on there so well, eloquently produced and everything, and he talks about the game. Troy Aikman, my quarterback for the Cowboys, that's my team, loved the game. Knows the game, back and forth, him and Tony Romo. Every one of those motherfuckers, I mean, you name it, they get on there, they sound good. They sound good. That's their job. That's the producer's job, to make them sound good and make them sound intelligent. But for you to go and get Troy Aikman and turn the keys over to the operation to Troy Aikman and let him pick the general manager and let him then tell you what you need to be doing as far as your head coaching and the organization. Really? Really? So that's no different than what Indianapolis coach did with Jeff Saturday. You see how that fucking worked? These guys are on TV to be on TV. These guys are calling the game. They're calling the game for a reason. They do extensive research and they're 1 minute sound bites. They don't get all day to talk about the team. They talk about a play after a play. That's what they're designed to do. So that shit sounds real good, like that, as if they know what they're doing. And a lot of times you're seeing that shit on a delayed basis. You're seeing the game on a delayed basis, people, on a 2 minute, 1 minute delay. They'll fucking run the play in the stadium, see that the guy just threw an interception to make the commentator look credible, like as if he's fucking God and he knew that the quarterback was getting ready to fucking call this particular play and throw an interception on that particular play. They saw it already. They saw the play already, and then they commentated that, yeah, 3rd down 10. You know, you got to watch out for an interception. In this case, yep. And then you see them draw a circle around the player that they get ready to throw the ball to. Oh, yeah, look at Jerry Jeudy right over here. And, okay, in this particular moment, he's got to get the ball to Jerry Jeudy. And then he gets the ball to Jerry Jeudy. They look like they know what the fuck they're doing. So you really getting caught up in that shit, Miami Dolphins, that you're going to think that you're going to think that goddamn Troy Aikman know what the fuck he's doing? But meanwhile, when I put it on there, they say, oh, you're joking, Luke. No, I'm not joking. I know football. Do I know all aspects of football? No. I know football players when I see one. I can tell the difference between a football player and a pretender. I can tell the difference between a guy who loves the game, who will drink gas and die for the team, or not. See, I'm gonna give you a scenario, situation. You won't get this on TV because they won't admit this. My good friend, Worldwide West, work for agencies. Nobody know what the fuck Worldwide West does. Worldwide West shows up on every national championship game that University of Miami won. Ballhead, light-skinned guy. Worldwide West, you saw him with Michael Jordan and Michael Jordan heydays. He was on the team over there. You saw Worldwide West in the early stages of being with LeBron James, helping him set that whole crew up so they could do that shit on their own. You see Worldwide West in songs where you hear Jay-Z say, yeah, I'm rolling with Worldwide West, and we make it a worldwide mess. So everybody says, what the fuck does Worldwide West do? Everybody wants to know, what does Worldwide West do? You see Worldwide West with Calipari. Now you see Worldwide West on the staff at the New York Knicks. Why? Because Worldwide West has been around the game for a very long time. He knows talent. From the NBA, from the NCAA level, Worldwide West has been a part. Calipari is not Calipari without Worldwide West. I'm going to keep it a buck. Worldwide West put that whole Memphis team together. Worldwide West put that whole team together at fucking Kentucky. I'm going to keep it a buck. So then now when Worldwide West goes to the New York Knicks, Stephen A. Smith gets on the TV and like, oh, how y'all gonna have these thugs and shit going up in there running my Knicks and all this? And Stephen A. Smith went ham on Worldwide West, and I went ham on Stephen A. Smith. Check my Twitter timeline. Hell no. See, that's the problem with y'all. Y'all want to keep doing the norm. Y'all want to keep doing the same shit over and over to keep you getting the same results. The same bullshit over and over gives you the same results. That's what it is, boss. And so, yeah, go get Troy Aikman off TV. Oh, yeah, we're going to go get this guy here. Oh, yeah, we're going to recycle this motherfucker right here. We're going to take Stefanski, put him over here. We're going to take this one and put him over here and do all this and everything like that. No, but you forgot about the real grooming. That's why when you look at real grooming and when you look at real experience, like everybody right now holler about Charlie Weis Jr. because Charlie Weis Jr. was not ready when he first left Lane Kiffin to become the offensive coordinator at South Florida. He was not ready at that time. He was still young, wet behind the ears. Still, he wasn't ready. Charlie Weis Jr. came over to FAU with Lane Kiffin. My good friend Chris Perkins, who's still over there as the running back coach, before Charlie came, it was Chris Perkins who was coaching the quarterbacks. And then Chris then moved over to assisting Lane in other areas. Charlie came in because Lane and Charlie had been working together at Alabama. Charlie was over there with Sarkisian at fucking Atlanta Falcons. And so Charlie gradually worked his way up to where he's at. Now God put him in a situation where Lane is over here at LSU. Now Charlie gets to show y'all what he's really all about because he was properly groomed to be this guy right now. It wasn't and it was the same thing with Mike McDaniel. He didn't just all of a sudden pop up. Mike McDaniel earned the right to be a head coach. No question about it. Is he doing a good job? He bought into the fucking tour shit. Something that Brian Flores told people not to do. So that's why I don't promote that Mike McDaniel get fired. I promote that Mike McDaniel needs another quarterback. and giving him another quarterback, then see where he's at with his football team. But I don't say get rid of him. But I'm just saying, going back to the World Wide West and my comment on Twitter, hey, look, I would be a hell of a consultant for the Miami Dolphins. And I'm not bullshitting. I got a long resume of players that have been drafted in the first round. Got a long list of resume of coaching up players from the high school level and them becoming big-time players in the NCAA. And then going to the Pro Bowl, mentored a whole bunch of them, went to the Hall of Fame. So I wasn't bullshitting at all in some capacity. But these teams don't do that. I'm just using myself as an example. These teams don't do that. They don't think outside of the box like Dolan did. Dolan said at the New York Knicks, I'm just getting this shit all wrong. I'll keep hiring this motherfucker, this motherfucker, this motherfucker. Let me do something different. Let me go get World Wide West. He's been around the game a long time. He's been over there with Falk. He's been up under the umbrella of helping Michael Jordan. He's been around all these top players that he put on his Calipari team. He knows the game from inside out. He knows the game from the high school level to a college level to a professional level. His guys excelled at a very high level. I ain't no different than World Wide West. But World Wide West does create a worldwide mess. That's my guy. But Dolan said, I'm going to go outside the box. And the fucking New York Knicks is winning. When nobody could do it, with Stephen A. Smith and everybody that shitting on World Wide West going, oh, you bringing some thug up here. You bringing a guy. I ain't never been a thug in his motherfucking life. Nothing but class. But that's what you got to do. No, you can't go fucking get these people off TV. You get ready to do another 4 or 5 years of bullshit. Because at the end of the day, how many times does Troy Aikman or anybody come encounter with a real nigga? That was the problem. That's the problem. Let's keep it a buck. When you talk about the Miami Dolphins, that's the problem. They keep saying, oh, these motherfuckers soft. No, you're soft because you got soft leadership. You can't have the doorman bringing in the talent. You got to have a healthy balance. Somebody got to be in the room like Ozzy. You think for 1 minute Ozzy ain't over there making the decisions, still making the decisions over there at the Baltimore Ravens? Ozzy is in the back room because he an OG. He know fucking talent. He know real niggas versus pussies. I'm going to just keep it a buck. And if you don't have that on your staff, like a guy like Alonzo Highsmith, he know real niggas versus pussies. It's just that simple. Everybody ain't like that. Everybody ain't about that life. And so you continuously hire these jokers in your front office to bring jokers into your front office. Then you're going to have a joke product. And the fans, you need to look at the front office. Stop getting bullshitted by these reporters because these reporters work for the organization to spin those narratives against people. Look what they did to Lamar Jackson. Oh, Lamar Jackson, he's sleeping in the meetings. He ain't doing this, and he ain't doing this. Oh, Lamar Jackson want to play for the Miami Dolphins. Oh, Lamar Jackson, let's cut him. Let's get rid of Lamar Jackson. What does he do? He goes out there and play against another Hall of Famer in one of the best games of the fucking year. They're going back to back. And Lamar Jackson, the guy who slept in the meeting, took that football, ran it up the middle, and took the motherfucking hits and got back up. Just like why the Cleveland Browns said, the owner said he was keeping his motherfucking GM because the GM brought in good people, hardworking guys who wanted to play in the fucking 5th week when they were banged up because that's the quality, that's knowing that you are prepared and ready to drink gas and die for the team. So that's why I commend that Cleveland Brown fucking owner for keeping that general manager, not going for the bullshit and get one of these fucking jokers off TV to become general manager. So regular person. That's the name of the game. Speaking of the name of the game, speaking of gangster shit, I mean, it's a hurtful day. Black Monday is a hurtful day. When you see shit like this just gets up under this. It's hurtful. When the team said, keep our coach, we love our coach, and the organization listen to the media, because the media is supposed to be listening to the fans, but I'm still trying to figure out when the fuck does the media have a conversation with the fans? When? That is the saddest moment of football. When they told you you were fired and you did your last press conference, you were hurt, you lost. Atlanta Falcons, in my opinion, did this guy disjustice, even though but Arthur Blank is a great guy. Arthur Blank is a hell of an owner. Arthur Blank gives more money than historical black colleges and black organizations to any fucking owner in the business. No different than Ross. Ross is a great owner. They deserve more. They deserve a lot more than what they're getting. But what it falls short at as businessmen, they don't look at the practical part of it all. They look at it from, okay, we're in the service business and people sometimes you got to drop your nuts. Sometimes you got to drop your nuts like the Rooneys do. The Rooneys know that we ain't firing no coaches. You're going to retire here. We're going to get it right from an organizational standpoint. We're going to take responsibility as to who we put out on the field. No, we are not firing no coaches like that. That's why Mike Tomlin stays over there regardless of what the fuck the media has to say. They can scream in the stands, fire Mike Tomlin. They know your ass going to be at the game and Mike Tomlin is going to hold the ship together, because if Mike Tomlin gets fired, Mike Tomlin will have a job tomorrow, because he's that kind of guy. He knows talent. And he demands respect in the locker room, something that you guys don't have nowhere else. Everybody want to get these coaches who want to be homeboy up with and look with these baby faces who look like somebody that their daughter would marry. Look at these teams. They get these head coaches with these baby face who look like, oh yeah, I like you. I want you to be the face of my organization. And matter of fact, you can have my fucking daughter while you're at it, because you fit the look. But at the end of the day, people want football coaches like Andy Reid. That's a fucking football coach. That coach over there at the New England Patriots, that's a football coach. Coach over there at Dan Campbell, that's a football coach. You get a football coach, some baby-faced, pretty-ass boy, that's a football coach in Philadelphia. That's my guy. I was in Houston restaurant, him and the GM, those are my dudes over there. Jeff O-line coach. Panazio, they're my dudes over there. Even though I'm a cowboy, they know I'm a fucking cowboy. But them dudes over there are football coaches. They come in that bitch, look just like this, and like, yo, what the fuck? And they ain't got no problem mixing it up with no goddamn player, because that ain't gonna be soft. You get a soft-ass coach, you're gonna have a soft-ass team. The leadership, the design, how you want to be. You want to be soft? You want to be soft in the front office, and you want to be soft on the field? Come on, man. So they don't, and the AFC over there, I call it the Black College Division. They don't fire no motherfucking coach. They know Harbaugh getting ready to get fired. That ain't finna happen. They don't do that shit over there. Only place they do the firing at is Cleveland. They don't even do that shit in Cincinnati. They had their coach for 100 years over there, and everybody was like, yo, butcher him, the brother over there. I'm like, no, fuck y'all. That's hardcore shit over there. That's black and blue. That's all about the coaches, and either you're going to come over here and play football or you're not. Listen, man, let me move right on. I don't know what the fuck is going on here. Why am I not in the frame? Come on. Why am I not in the frame, people? I'm sorry. Technical difficulties. But let's get back on topic. Sorry for the technical difficulties. We gotta keep it moving, ladies and gentlemen. Hey, look here. Speaking of fuck ups, over the weekend, everybody know we went over and ran up in Venezuela. Before I get to the Venezuela and the Trump and the taking of the oil and all that stuff like that, you know, we got the University of Miami. Yes. Going to play Ole Miss. Now, here's the question with that. University of Miami is going to play Ole Miss. The dysfunctional family left my good friend Lane Kiffin. So you got Charlie Weis over there. You got George McDonald. You have running back coach. You have all these coaches. So arguably supposed to be going and coming. University of Miami, don't go for the bullshit. Stay focused. Be like the horse in New York City. We can keep the blinders on. Stay focused. Don't get caught up in what coach is going to be there or not. That all that is some bullshit. All that is a distraction for you to be thinking that you're getting ready to coach against some coaches who are not there. Some guys who don't know the offense, and the adjustments will not be getting made at the halftime or throughout the game that needs to be getting adjusted because you don't know whether or not that position coach is going to be there. And see, people, let me educate y'all on how football works. It's not just about the offensive coordinator. It's not about just defense coordinator. It's about your staff. That's why when you look at the University of Miami staff on the defense side of the ball, you have D-Lou, with tons of experience that's coaching in the NFL, first-round draft pick out of the University of Miami, coaching on the collegiate level at a very high level. You got a young coach in Jason Taylor with a gold jacket, came from high school, but then he learned his way around over there, and he's doing an excellent job with the mechanics, the techniques, and all that shit with Baines and Mezzador and all them, and the fire that Jason Taylor brings to the game. Then you have the defensive coordinator who's, linebacker coach at Rucker and defensive coordinator for 1 year at Minnesota. Then you got Will I Am. I call him Will I Am, the DB coach who came over from Florida. They have a hell of a fucking staff over there. So when you're coaching against that type of defensive staff, they can make adjustments because they've seen a lot of ball. That's why you see sometimes we struggle on offense. Like anybody on that defensive staff at the University of Miami, if the defensive coordinator fall on the chicken bone and he can't come and coach the game, you got any one of those guys to be a defense coordinator. All across the board on that side of the ball. Now, it's a little different on the offensive side of the ball because only person with that kind of cachet outside of the offensive coordinator is the offensive line coach, Mirabal and Mario Cristobal. If the Shannon Dawson fall on the chicken bone and he can't call the game, you can't count on Beard. Oh, my God. That'll be a disaster. You can't count on the running back coach because he's a young guy. He's fresh, probably third year, second year as a big Power 5 running back coach because he was a GA at Ohio State and 1 year at South Florida. So you can't count on him to run the offense. Tight end coach, same situation. So you would have, the person with the experience is Mario Cristobal. But then it goes into how you make adjustments throughout the course of the game and because you've seen so much ball and you have the cojones to be able to tell your guys, hey, rotate guys in, rotate guys out, and all that, and the respect of the players as well as the head coach to be able to make those decisions and then make those adjustments throughout the course of the game. And then when you go into halftime, that's a whole nother movie. That's a big staff meeting with a whole bunch of data and information to be able to make those adjustments. So as a team, you're really coaching against the coaches. As a coach, you're coaching against the coaches with the potential adjustments that coach may be making. You follow what I'm saying? And I learned this a lot from Nick Saban by just hanging out with Nick Saban, going into his office, looking at his board in the meeting room, and he breaking out each coach of the opponent and their experience and the things that they're used to doing and their whole life story broke down and knowing that these are the limitations of that coach and what that coach can do. So Ole Miss is trying to throw a monkey wrench in the game. They're trying to let you believe that these guys will not be available for this game and to distract you. But Miami, stay focused. Don't take the rat poison. Stay focused on the game. Miami, stay focused on this game. Stay focused on go for the okie doke or that bullshit that Ole Miss is putting out there that these coaches will not be available. George McDonald ass gonna be out there. Kevin Smith gonna be out there. Charlie Weis is gonna be there. The brains of the operation. They're gonna be there. They're gonna be there, and we're gonna whoop their ass. And that sorry-ass defense they got is going to be there. We're going to run right down their fucking throat all day. And I'm just saying, I'm going to give y'all the breakdown on Wednesday. Well, it might be too late then. But the breakdown of this whole game, they looked at Baines and Mesidor at the end of the second half, and they were tired because they went up-tempo. And they were a little gassed. They had to take them out of the game and bring them in. So Ole Miss is looking at that. Charlie Weis is looking at that. And don't think for 1 minute Lane Kiffin ain't having a conversation with Charlie Weis as to how to play them, because that is his offensive coordinator. He's under contract, regardless of all the bullshit y'all hearing. Charlie is there. That's why they're just trying to distract Miami and letting us relax to think that we're not getting all the attention of this organization called Ole Miss. No, motherfuckers. We fucking ain't taking the bait. We're not taking the bait, and we're not eating the rat poison. They're going to go up tempo. Lane Kiffin and Ole Miss, they hiked the ball, the third fastest in the entire NCAA. Third fastest, hiked the ball in the NCAA. So when they looked at the end of that game and they saw that the guys got gas because they go so fucking hard. It's not because they're out of shape, or not because of strength and condition, but because they go hard. They go hard. They finish the play from start to finish. They're going to go up tempo. How do you defeat that? Which is what them motherfuckers weak at. Run the ball up the middle, take the time off the clock, leave their fast 80 ass on the sideline, and give your defense chance to get a breather, run the ball. So then when they come out there and go fast, I tell you like this, 2 stops a quarter, those results are 14 points for us and no time on the clock. They're going to run out of time because they're going to be running so fast, and they're not going to be able to stop our run. It's just that simple. Mario Cristobal doesn't have to do anything jazzy. Just do what Mario likes doing, which is running the ball. We run the ball up the middle on them. Hey, take our time. It's a 40-second clock. They're sitting over there. They come out. Hey, look, they want to go fast. Go fast. Your ass is off the field in less than 2 minutes because you want to go fast. Our guys go back, sit down over there, and get more rest with another 7-minute drive right up their fucking mouth. And they could go out there, and Baines and Mesidor don't have to be rotated at all. They won't have to be rotated at all because they will have just enough rest in the course of the football game because our offense is not matching they go fast with they go fast. No, we're going to take the ball and run it up their ass, and then that's how we're going to do it. It's just that simple. So, ladies and gentlemen, speaking of game plan, what's the game plan in the United States of America? What the fuck is our game plan? What precedent are we setting? What precedent are we setting? Is this what we're going to do? We're going to continue doing it?
Oil. What are we going to do with the oil that we have?
Going to do with what?
The oil that has been seized. The United States seized 1.9 million barrels of oil on December 10th.
We're going to keep it. We're keeping it.
Where's it? Are we going to sell it or put it in the strategic oil reserve?
Maybe we'll sell it. Maybe we'll keep it. Maybe we'll use it in the strategic reserves. We're keeping it. We're keeping the ships also.
So that was then. And after that, and I called it on the show. When I saw the ships out there weeks ago, I called it. Weeks ago, I said a long time ago, you don't bring that many guns to somebody's house and you ain't get ready to go in there and take over some shit, or you told them to come out of the house. You told them to come out of the house and giving us what we want. I told y'all this a long time ago. Trump used this military like a gangster used his killers. I'm just keeping it in a buck. I told y'all a long time ago, when those ships start rolling into the Caribbeans, that it was something going down. And when they rolled up to Venezuela, that means roll up the Venezuela house and say, hey, man, I want your all. And when they went up there and say, I want your all, and then you say, no, I ain't giving you my all, I'm going to say, hey, look here. Trump say, I'm going to give you another chance. Trump and Rubio say, I'm going to give you another chance. I want the all, or I'll come in and take this motherfucker. So what ended up happening? Trump and Rubio went up in there and took the motherfucking all. No, took his ass and then took the all and then got on the podium and said, we're going to run their country. We taking the all and we're going to run your motherfucking country. So now everybody lose their mind. Hey, look, you need to talk to Congress about this shit. This is an act of war. Did you brief us? You just, no, hell no. We doing what we do. So then people are looking at it in the same situation as they're looking at Ukraine. They're like, hold on, we supported a war when Russia rolled up into Ukraine and said, motherfucker, we want them minerals that y'all got over there. And so why us, the American taxpayer, is footing the bill of Ukraine to fight Russia? Isn't that the same thing? How in the fuck are you? Is this a new thing where you go and just, if you don't like the president of a country, that you go in there and capture his ass and bring him to the United States of America, and then you put him on trial? The man went on trial today. The man said, I am the president. His wife said, I am the first lady. I am the president. I was illegally captured. Is this what you're doing? Is this what we're doing? This is some dangerous shit. I'm just keeping it up. If this the new precedent that we're setting, they can go and snatch any president from any country and the first lady who's weak, because again, we like Draymond Green. We ain't gonna fight no goddamn big motherfucker out there. We ain't gonna fight no motherfucker who's gonna punch us back. We're gonna run up against a little short white boy and push him around in the court and get in his face. We ain't gonna run up against no real tough motherfucker. We like Draymond Green. United States like Draymond Green. We're gonna run up against goddamn Venezuela, knowing y'all ain't got but a half a piece of goddamn military. And see, even with the military that was protecting Venezuela, it was really Cuba. We went over there and shot the Cubans. It was like, y'all better get y'all ass up out of there. I'm pretty sure Marco Rubio told him, Cuban, hey, look here, you got the motherfucker protecting him, get the ass out of there, we're gonna shoot the motherfucker. It's some gangster shit. I can't make this shit up. I can't. Hey, if this ain't some shit, hey man, in full disclosure, Marco Rubio is my friend. In full disclosure, he's my friend. He's gonna be my friend forever. That is my friend. He's from Miami. I consider him as a good friend of mine. I could call him up. Have I called him since he been in office? No, under no circumstances. I don't want no information. I don't want nothing. I just, hey, that's my friend. Hey, look, politics is politics, and he got a job to do. Does he know his shit? Listen, but this shit that they doing is borderline not right. I mean, does Iran go take and go and get Netanyahu? Because in their opinion, what Netanyahu did was committed mass murders on these people. I'm just saying, is that what happens now? Is that what we're doing right now? We can go grab a goddamn president and get the motherfucker and get him on war crimes or say he's a drug dealer. Now, let's explain this to me. How do you put this guy in jail for drugs? All right, let's do a timeline. You said he was a narco terrorist. He was bringing drugs over here in the United States. Fentanyl and all this. Now, mind you, fentanyl don't come from no Venezuela. Fentanyl don't come from that. That's some China shit. So don't trick us with that. First of all, you blew up all the boats. Congress asked for the evidence that these boats were carrying drugs. you said we have the evidence. Now we know the people who get the drug smugglers are the Coast Guard, but we sent the military over there to blow up the boats that was carrying the drugs and the drug dealers. But we have no evidence of that. So now you arrest Maduro. Now he's a fucking dictator. I mean, all they got over there, and as much oil as they selling to all these other countries, that fucking place need to be looking like Dubai. I'm sorry. Maduro, you fucked up. I can't, no. All that oil, y'all the largest supplier of oil in the entire world, and these people over there living like that. Everybody that's born in Venezuela should be a fucking multi-millionaire. So now if Trump is going over there to do that, I'm okay with that. If that's what he's going to do, but then you say, oh, we're going to run the country. So now you blew up the boats. Now I'm just going to the legalities of it all. You blew up the boats that was carrying the drugs that he sent to America. You brought him over on charges of selling drugs. And he's going to be tried in the U.S. court. In the United States, last time I checked, you were innocent until proven guilty. So how in the fuck do you prove that this man is guilty if you blew up all of the fucking evidence? If you blew up all the evidence? If you couldn't show Congress that there was evidence of these boats that you blew up had drugs in it and there were drug trafficking, and you blew up all the goddamn evidence and you blew up all the witness. That's why you capture a motherfucker. You get the evidence, you put the motherfuckers in jail, and then they confess and they say, he was our boss, and that is how you convict the motherfucker. You got none of that. You got none of this shit. I'm just saying, it just don't make no fucking sense to me. Speaking of evidence, let me just say this. New rule in the NCAA. I want you all to listen to this. I want you all to carefully listen to what I'm getting ready to say about this thing that they call the NCAA. It's a two-part situation. Number one, first part, transfer portal. When we're talking about the transfer portal, it's unfair. See, the transfer portal, everybody goes talking about tens of thousands of kids in the transfer portal, blah, 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 blah. You see these coaches get on there, and they get on there, and I lose a lot of respect for them. When they get on there talking about, oh, kids jumping in the transfer portal, this, that, they need to stay where the fuck they at. They need to stay and get developed and all that. Hold on. I love Kirby. I love the guy over there, NIU, and all these places, but y'all don't do that. Don't fucking do that. Don't say that these kids are quitting and running and jumping in the portal when you know y'all are cutting these motherfucking kids. Unlike the NFL, when you get cut from a team and you do not make the 53-man roster, you get put on the taxi squad, you make that 15-player taxi squad, you get cut. They notify the media that this person been cut. Unlike the NCAA, they don't tell when a kid got cut. Where y'all at, rival? Where you at on 3? Would you scared you're going to lose your access to the universities if you really report that kid got cut? See, that's what they don't tell you. They ain't going to tell you that on the worldwide network. They ain't going to tell you that. But 80% of these kids are getting cut from their team. 80% of these kids are told that your services are no longer needed here at this university. So when that kid has no choice but to go into the portal, but they're not going to tell you that because they have no system in place to then hold schools accountable for cutting these kids, because it becomes a black eye on the school. So everybody ain't jumping in no fucking portal because they want to jump in the portal because they don't want to stay at a school and be developed. It's not the case. So some of you college coaches need to stop lying to the public and stop pushing that fucking narrative, but then say the other part of it. Hold these coaches responsible for not developing. But you want to say a kid don't want to be developed, so he jumps in the portal, and you got 10,000 kids in the portal. Everybody don't want to be developed. They don't want to stay there and be developed. And you know damn well You know damn well a lot of your buddies are cutting these kids. Kids are getting cut every day. I have kids that have gotten cut who call me, coach, they cut me, coach. But it's not reported. So you need to come up with a system on top of all the other bullshit going on with the NCAA where you hold these coaches accountable. You cut this player. Now, if you cut this motherfucker and now he went over to Georgia or he went to another school and he did a hell of a job, or you cut this player, now you're known to be cutting motherfuckers. So then now when a parent makes a decision whether or not they want to bring their kid to your program, then they can look at the numbers of how many kids you did not develop and how many kids you cut. But they won't do that. That needs to be done in the NCAA, my friend. That needs to be done in the NCAA. So it's a damn shame that we're sitting here saying that these kids are jumping in the portal and they're really not jumping in the portal. They're half of them being cut. Say that, goddammit. So at the end of the day, ladies and gentlemen, I had a great time on my show. I love it. The Luke Show. I hope you guys were fully entertained. I was going to get a little more into this whole NIL thing at the timeline of how fucked up it is. It's really fucked up. It is super fucked. It is so bad, people. It's so bad that Charlie Weis and all of them are put in this predicament that their coach had to leave. All this is manufactured by the NCAA. It's two timelines, and I keep saying, I've been saying it for the longest. It's really simple. Adopt the rules of the NFL. Just like I said, if you're going to cut a kid, say he cut. Just like the NFL. Put that on notice. He got cut. And if he didn't wanted to be a free agent and jump in the portal, say he wanted to be a free agent, he voluntarily jumped into the portal. That's one thing. The other part of it, you got to change this timeline because you got kids on teams when if you play 5 games, then you lose that year. So if you hadn't played in the first 4 games, you're not a part of the program. Because in the first 4 games, you're going to play against some sorry-ass teams. And if you don't play against a sorry-ass team in a blowout situation, the writing's on the wall. You're not a part of the rotation, and they don't see where you're going to be able to be used. And you got 5 more games on the schedule right now. If you stay here, you'll lose a year. You need that year because now when it's time for you to leave and go to another school, they're going to be like, how many years you got? And you say, I got 1 year. They're going to be like, nah, we ain't fucking with you 1 year. You got to have at least 2. So they need to put a portal time at that period of time. But I know the schedule of schools and the academic calendar is different, but you need to change the academic calendar. The other part of it, you just need to say, hey, coach, you can't. If you change the time of the portal and you tell the coaches you cannot leave or negotiate with another team until after the season is over with, then you have portal time 2 weeks after the season is over with. Now you have a situation where you don't have to fire the coach before the season is over with. He can see his team through the playoffs. And at the end of the day, it gives you time to go into the portal and start doing what? Evaluating players. But you got to change that. It's a lot of room in the offseason to be able to change that. But the NCAA, I guess y'all done got to the point where y'all just say, fuck it. But I'm going to make an announcement in a couple of weeks whether or not I'm going to run for Congress. Because there's a lot of issues before Congress right now. There's a lot of issues before Congress that intertwines into sports. There's some big decisions, but Congress, there's no congressmen and congresswomen that have no idea how to even tackle or deal with this. They're consistently bringing up these people, these consultants, and these people who are getting paid by other people, and there's no representation of the players. There ain't no representation. It's coaches going up there. It's these corporation people going up there. It's these presidents of these universities that are going up to these, and speak to these congressmen and women and advising them on behalf of the universities and on behalf of the coaches. And that does not necessarily mean that there's somebody there representing the players. So I might not want to run for Congress, but I might have to run for Congress. Y'all stay tuned. I'm gonna make that decision in the next couple of weeks. But until the meantime, ladies and gentlemen, I enjoyed this show. Hopefully y'all enjoyed it. We'll be back on Wednesday with another live edition of the Uncle Luke Show. Make sure y'all go to my YouTube page, Uncle Luke TV. Like, share, and subscribe. Make sure y'all check me out on TikTok, Uncle Luke 305 X. I love you guys over there on X, and I love you guys over there on Facebook, Facebook Live, and Twitter. Instagram. I love it. We're gonna have some special reports and special reporting from the Fiesta Bowl. We have a reporter there on the ground that's going to be giving us exclusive interviews with individuals from the Fiesta Bowl. So until Wednesday, I love you guys. Hey, and I always say it. In the words of Walter Cronkite, may the good news be yours.
Make the booty go, 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 pop, pop, make the booty go, pop, pop.
I need some bad girls. I'm gonna let y'all hear my new song. I need some bad girls. Come on, baby. Come on, right here. You and you. Come on with that, your fine ass.